Welcome to episode 47, I think, of Where Civilization Started Over. Maybe this is 48. No, this is 47. Then next episode's 48. Anyways, we will be starting out over here with Yugal. And if we look at the alliance layer, let me also turn on some other layers, like the capital layer. But anyways, the layer that we need to look at right now is the alliance layer. If you look at it, they're in an alliance all by themselves. Now, there used to be some other countries in this alliance, such as Goiki and this country here. However, they both left for reasons that if you don't know, then go watch previous episodes. But anyways, they will be getting a new member, and that new member will be the brown country over here. Now, why is this brown country joining? I don't know. These two countries just have been, like, have just been, like, on good terms a lot, and now, the brown country decides to join, Yugor's alliance, which until now it's just been Yugo, so it's the lucky day, I guess. Anyways, while in this region, there will be another event happening, and that is with Goiki. And Goiki has some plans that involve Morocco, as they send their troops into Morocco. Now, why are they sending their troops into Morocco? Because they, A, want land, and B, similar to the other communist countries, they hate all capitalist countries and want to see the death of capitalism. But they are a lot stronger than Morocco, and along with that, they are getting help from their allies. Now, the allies aren't sending troops, they are sending supplies and money and stuff. Let me open up the province, the major city and province area. So they are getting close to the capital pretty quickly. Along with another reason why they're doing so good is that Morocco was not ready for this, and also Morocco never really fully finished like rebuilding themselves after the after World War II. At the end of World War II, when all the colonies declared independence, this is where like most of the fighting happened, and a lot of the areas around here are still not fully built, even though it's been like 10, 20 years since then. This major city is captured along with these provinces here, and we see down in the south, we will see a country down here break away. I don't like that goes too close to the ocean. Let me just use another. We see a country down here break away, and this is basically people who really just don't like the Moroccan government, and they aren't. I say breaking away, but they more so want to fix the government. What is the problem here? There. So they will push and continue to take more land from Morocco. Meanwhile, the capital of Morocco has been captured, and soon after, the entirety of the coast will get captured by the two invading. But with this, we will see Morocco fall, and Goiki and the new Morocco will sit down to discuss the peace treaty. So here we see the treaty. I do need to move the capital still, which the new capital will be down here. But before I move that, as you can see, Goiki got a lot of the northern uh, land, while the rest was given to the new Moroccan government. Speaking of which, before they're marked as a democracy here, they're more so a flawed democracy and like basically leaning on dictatorship. However, now the new one is going to be a new type of government that not much people have seen. I need to find a color for it because, well, there's already a lot of stuff on this. Let me see. So, I don't know what color to use for this. Let's see. How about that? Does that look too close to the... Yeah, that looks too close to that. Maybe like that? Does that look better? Or does that look too much like communism and... I don't know. Tell me what you think of this, of what color I should use for this, because this looks a bit too similar to some other colors. But anyways, this new one is Democratic Socialism. So, this is the first democratic socialist country. All of the red communist countries are dictatorships at the moment. I said I was going to fix this between episodes, but I kind of forgot. I'll have the ideology layer completely updated by the next episode. Maybe. Anyways, though. Along with becoming democratic socialists, they're also going to join the Star Alliance, so we see that happen. Anyways, though, as for moving the capital, let me do that quickly. So, and there we go. So with that, democratic socialism has spread, or has been created. I was going to say spread, but that's the first one. I guess, in a way, communism has spread. Who owns this purple island? Is this purple island owned by the Scottish? I just noticed this purple island. It might be. But anyways, closing out the alliance layer, we're going to head up to the Irish/Welsh country, where they are going to get some revenge. Now, one of the countries that forced them out of Wales was the Dutch, and, well, England is basically, the people in England are Dutch because, well, up until the end of World War II, the Dutch owned England, and I don't think anyone owned England, or at least most of England before that, so. Anyways, though, the Welsh start sending troops into the English and quickly capture this major city. They have been increasing their military a lot. Along with that, they have had help from Korea, who is the third strongest country in the world at this point, maybe the second, I don't know. But the English will be able to push back a bit. However, they cannot capture this major city back. And eventually, we will see the Welsh push up through over here until they get stopped by the English again, who will start to push back a bit again. However, we then see the Dutch start to invade into the English country, and they quickly push up and capture London. And they push along here and take a lot of this land along here. With this, the Welsh will continue to push through, meeting up with the, well, not really meeting up with, since the Brittany country is not a fan of what the Welsh country is doing. The Welsh country will push through here. This province here will get captured by the Dutch, and the rest of this will fall over to Wales. In the treaty, pretty simple. This land goes to this land goes to the Welsh, and this land here goes to the Dutch. As for the provinces on each side of the border, just fix that quickly. I say the provinces on each side of the border. As for the land on each side of the province border, let me just fix that quickly. And we can remove the capital, as there's no need for a capital in a country that does not exist. But with that, the English country's life was short-lived. I think they well, like 4 episodes, 5 maybe. But now they're dead. Anyways, though, I said in the last episode that I would be focusing on the Americas in this one, and that's where we'll go. And we'll be starting with this country here, which I just realized does not have a capital, so let me give them one quickly. Their capital will be right here. That's the wrong color. Right there. That's the correct color now. But anyways, this country here, they say that they should have all of the land that the tribe down here in this country, whether they're a tribe or a nation, I'm not sure about at this point. But they want all the land that they used to control, which includes land from this green country here, land from this country here, but also they want the land down here that the remainder of the tribe owns, and they start making invasions on here and genociding them. And people are looking at this, like people in other countries looking at this, like, whoa, what are you doing? They've literally just done nothing but live there peacefully ever since the colonizers pushed them down to those islands. But the country here says that this is their land now, and they start preparing to invade into one of these two countries. They are not sure which one they're going to invade into first yet, but they start putting troops up there. Now these two don't know their plan. This one also I do realize does not have a capital. I need to fix that at some point. But for now, we will be heading over here, where these 4 countries are going to unite into one, as they all have kind of been pretty weak since independence, and they think that they'll be better off if they unite. So with that, we will see them unite into one country. And as for the capital, they're going to build a completely new city to be the capital in the middle of the country. So they will get to work on building it, and skipping ahead a bit, it obviously wouldn't be built instantly, but I'm just going to put the capital on now. So there's the capital. We can remove these capitals here. So with that, we have a new central North American country. Speaking of unions, down here, we're going to see a few more countries decide to join up with the South American country down here. If I can find the correct layer. I'm looking at this layer because obviously, if the country isn't democratic, they probably won't be joining this. But we will see these countries here join, along with this country here. This orange country, it was a close vote, but in the end they voted to join. And finally, and then finally we will see this country here join. So with that, there's a few new countries down here. Now there was another country that was about to join, but before they could, they kind of got invaded by the Amazon country, who pushes down. And the Amazon country also then starts pushing to this country, and this country's like, what do? We have done absolutely nothing. But the Amazon captures their capital, as the Amazon is a decently strong country. Now they don't have any coastline, but they have, for their entire history, been increasing their military. Which, their history goes to, like, I think between World War I and II, or shortly before World War I, so, like, they've probably been around for, like, almost 100 years at this point. I don't know, it's probably, like, the 1920s, 1930s at this point. World War II happened in like, around, like, 1905, 1906, I don't remember exactly when I say it was, but these two countries will both eventually fall over to the Amazon country, where they'll be for you next. With that, we can remove the capitals, and also these circles here that now have no use. Like that. And we can remove the capitals. There's some like marks that I'll fix, I would say off camera, but I think we all know that I'm probably going to forget to do that. But anyways, over here. Where's the correct layer at again? There it is. But anyways, now we see that the United States of South America has gotten a lot bigger. Anyways, heading over to Greece now. I said I would talk about Crete in the last episode, and Crete is fascist, and recently the fascist dictator has died, and his son has become the new fascist leader, and he wants to basically take back all of the lands that they had before World War II, and with some help from the other fascist countries, they are going to start to invade into Greece, quickly taking this island here, and also sending troops into these islands here. Now, Greece was not expecting this. They weren't expecting this country to do anything. They were actually hoping that eventually, after the fascist dictator died, the people here would stop having such fascist views and would agree to rejoin. But instead, they start invading, and they take a few of these islands. But Greece is obviously a lot stronger, so they'll retake some of these islands pretty quickly, and will start preparing to invade into Crete. However, invading into Crete goes a lot slower than they were expecting, as it turns out that Crete is not just getting supplies, but there's straight up troops from Korea and other fascist countries here, and with that help, the Crete country will push them off and make landings back on these islands, and start to make some more landings on other islands. If this wasn't bad enough, we then see the Turkey Macedonia country start to invade into Greece, and Greece was not expecting this either, as they quickly lose this area, these provinces up here, and a push is made over here near the capital, as Crete Macedonia country is trying to take back land that used to belong to Crete and Macedonia, pushing down to this major city and taking it, and pushing over here and getting this major city. Following the capture of this major city, they'll basically just take all this land here with the other troops that were here. There wasn't much fleeing down here. Now Greece is going to start getting supplies from the Nordic Union, while the Turkey Macedonia country will get help from the communists, and obviously, as I said before, Greece getting help from the fascists. So we see another Cold War event happen between these three, as Crete continues to capture these islands, eventually capturing this island and making a landing on mainland Greece. This is scary for the Greeks, as they're getting invaded on the mainland now. Along with that, this area over here continues to fall, and over here. However, with help from the Nordic Union, the Greeks will push back and take back this major city, and will start to push back over here. However, we then see this country over here, this purple one, start to invade into Greece. Now, why are they invading into Greece? Well, they want to land, that's why. And they take this major city, they also take this major city and start to push along here, pushing up along here where they will meet up with the Turkey Macedonia country, and the two won't fight each other, but they also aren't on the same side. They just both want land. Anyways, though, the fascist Crete country, takes some more islands before they make another landing over here and start to push up along here. Along with that, their push over here is going well as they push towards the capital. However, eventually Greece will stalemate them over here. However, over here, they collect some more land, taking this province now, and threatening this major city. With Greece dying, they're going to try to get the Grey country here to join the war, but the Grey country refuses. They will, however, send supplies and volunteers to help out in Greece, which will soon show help as they push back a little bit against Turkey Macedonia over here. However, down here, Turkey Macedonia pushes and takes some land down here, then pushing up and retaking this land here. Along with that, the fascists continue to take land as they basically have the Korean military here. Now, obviously not the entire military, but they do have a lot of troops. And with that, they'll get right outside the capital, following which the president will not flee. He will stand in the capital and he will continue to try to fight as he sends the military to try to push back against the fascists, which they will a tiny bit, but soon after the fascists push along here and they try to surround the capital, which they will do before pushing in, where the president will be captured, and they want to kill the president. However, the Nordic Union says that if the president is killed, then the Nordic Union will activate their alliance against Crete, which would lead to them losing. So Crete will not kill the president. However, they do capture him for now. And they'll continue to push up along here. They also capture this major city here and push into these provinces along here. With this, Greece will surrender over to the ones pushing over to the other countries here, and they will all sit down and discuss a peace treaty. So here we see the peace treaty, in which the Turkey Macedonia country got some land. Actually, they also got a little bit more land. They also got this island here. They got some land. They got a lot of land over here and a lot of land over here. The fascist country also got some land. Now, there was a debate in the fascist country between whether they should keep the capital on Crete or move it back to the old capital of Greece. However, in the end, since this area is a lot more pro-fascist than these areas that they just took, which there is quite a bit of anti-fascist in, but so they decided to keep it on Crete. Anyways, though, we need to move the capital of Greece now, since it got taken. Also, the purple country here got some land. But anyways, the capital of Greece of the Democratic Greece will get moved to this city here, as it is the second most populous city. Well, after the war, the most populated city. Before it was the old capital, which is now the most populated city of the fascist Greece. And, well, there's a lot of problems in this city, as a lot of people here are protesting and rioting the fascists, so the fascists kill them. But, anyways, also following this war, Crete, or they call themselves Greece, is now a more recognized country. Now, the fascist Greece and the democratic Greece, they have a similar relationship to, like, the way it works is similar to how China and Taiwan work in real life, where both view themselves as the one and only Greece, and all Greek land is theirs. Now, following this, both of them don't recognize the land that was taken from them by Turkey Macedonia as their land. However, they do both hate Turkey Macedonia and want to take their land back. Anyways, though, we will now see Crete. We will now see the Crete, Greece country join the fascist alliance. I'm on the long way, of course I am. What is it? Wait, 8, there it is. Anyways, they will join fascist alliance, while we will see Democratic Greece join the Heart Alliance or the Democratic Alliance. Along with that, we're going to see the Heart Alliance and the Circle Alliance meet up, and a lot of these countries in the Circle Alliance want to join the Heart Alliance. In fact, all of them do. So, a decision is going to get made that will get rid of the Circle Alliance. So we can remove these circles from these countries here. And they will all be added into the Heart Alliance. Now this decision was finalized a few months after Greece joined, which Greece joining was in the treaty that Greece would join the Stars, and fascist Greece would join the X's. Also, why is this not filled in? Let me fix that. There we go. Turkey Macedonia was already part of the Star Alliance. Anyways, though, the second to last event will be up here, where we're going to see this pink country here do some expanding as they expand into Russia, and will take a good chunk of land here. We will also see in this area here, this white area here, get taken by this purple country here, which has done absolutely nothing since they got their independence, but now they've done something. And over here, in this area here, we'll see a new country pop up. Now this new country, basically, the people in it don't really agree with they don't really see themselves as being part of any of the other countries, and really disagree with a lot of the leaders' choices of some of them. So they decide to form their own country right here. With that, they can get a capital, which they will put over here, as they plan to expand more out a bit. How much they will expand, I'm not sure yet, because, well, they might get cut off by some of these other countries, as we might see some of these countries expand. But now, final event, actually the second final event, because there's another event first. Coming down here, this orange country, well, this country's not a fan of the gray country. So the gray country invades into the orange country. This orange country reminds me of Halloween, and Halloween is over now, so we can kill off the orange country. That's the only thing that was keeping them alive. But they're dead now. And the lime country might be next. Might be. They might not be. Maybe this is where this country stops expanding. They're fascist. You really think they're going to stop expanding? Anyways, though. Goodbye, capital. Now, the final event is happening over here in the Southeast Asian Union. Now, this union is a pretty old union going back toward shortly after the collapse of the original China. Now, the areas in this, so the Burma, the um, Siam, the southern region, I guess I'll call it, and then I call it the Vietnam region, but it's more so southern China region, all have different wants and ideas for this union. First of all, the three capitals, they think that they need to decide on one capital to be the only capital, but they can't decide on which one. And the people in these areas all want their capital to be the only one. Along with that, there's just some other problems. First of all, over here, the people in this area are not are a lot more poor than the people in like Vietnam and down in the south here. And the people down the south here, their views are kind of leaning towards some fascist views, if you know what I mean. Well, they kind of want to and by kind of I mean they want to just fully add Indonesia into it. They want to expand and take more of southern China. They want to expand to this country. Like, some of the people down here have those beliefs. And up here, the Vietnamese, the people here want to go even more democratic than they already are, which I don't know what would come after that. They want more I don't know. But they also kind of but all of these countries want to keep the union together, but under completely different ideologies. The people over here want a communist ideology, while down here fascist, and up here they want to stay democratic. And they all want to have their capital be the only capital. And this country here is looking like it's about to collapse, but maybe and the election there's an election currently happening, and maybe if depending on who wins, this union could either stay together as it is now, stay together, but one of these areas gets what they want, or completely fall apart. But to figure out what happens with it, you'll have to watch the next episode. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.